This is VSiN Daily Morning Bets. Here is your host, Josh Appelbaum.
Hello and welcome to VSiN Daily Morning Bets, a quick 15-minute podcast highlighting the top games and biggest line moves that bettors need to know about each day. Today is Tuesday, May 16th.
Game of the night.
For the game of the night, we're going to look toward the biggest basketball game in America tonight, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in the NBA. We're down to the Final Four. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight on ESPN. We have the Lakers visiting the Nuggets. Currently, the Denver Nuggets are listed as a 6-point favorite at home tonight with a total of 222.5. Now, going to this game, if we take a step back looking at the futures prices and then the breakdown for tonight's game, series price, Denver Nuggets are currently a minus 160 favorite to beat the Lakers and win this series and advance to the NBA Finals. The Lakers are a plus 135 dog. Currently at minus 160, if you convert that to an implied probability, that's 62% that Denver will win the series. And we have seen some money hit Denver to win this series. They open at minus 150 on the series price. Denver has now been bet up to minus 160. And at BetMGM, thanks to my buddy John Ewing, who does a great job on Twitter reporting a lot of this information, currently 53% of bets are on the Nuggets to win this series, but they're taking into account 70% of the money. So basically that tells me the public's pretty much split on the series price, yet all the bigger money is going with Denver. And that kind of coincides with the line move toward Denver. And Denver, of course, does have home court advantage in this matchup. And we'll get to that in a second with the altitude, what a big advantage that is for Denver at home in particular. In terms of the NBA title, updated numbers here from DraftKings. The Boston Celtics are the favorite, plus 100, even money. Denver, second best odds at plus 240. The Lakers are plus 320, and the Miami Heat are plus 1,600. So looking toward tonight's game, respective money looks to be going with the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets open this game as a 5-point home favorite, and we've seen Denver now get bet up to minus 6. So it's notable to me that as soon as this line was available and was posted and available to bet, the immediate move was toward the Denver Nuggets. And to me, what's important about that is this line came out, a couple days ago. So, over the past couple days, the public really isn't betting this game. A lot of public action really comes in on game day, especially in the NBA. It's unlike, or kind of similar to, I guess you could say, the NFL, where, definitely bets come in throughout the week, but a lot of money comes in the weekend and coming in late. Well, same thing with the NBA. A lot of these people who bet the NBA, they're not betting it the last couple days. They're going to bet it today, especially when they come home from work and they're able to watch this game. So that's one mark of the public typically betting closer to game time, whereas wise guys, they have their numbers ready to go. So they're waiting for these lines to drop, and they've already crunched their own numbers. And one characteristic of a wise guy or a sharp or a professional bettor, whatever you want to call it, is that they set their own numbers. So they're going to have their own power ratings that they believe in, and then they're basically going to compare their numbers to the odds makers, and whatever. If there's a big discrepancy between their numbers and the books, boom, they'll hit it because they feel as though they have an edge. So what's notable to me and why I mentioned that is that Denver opened minus 5 and immediately got bet up to minus 5.5 and now minus 6. So it tells me that all early money here coming in on the Denver Nuggets. We really haven't seen any buyback on the Lakers here. I think it's important too on game day. Where does this next move go? If we see the Lakers early or kind of leading up to tonight's game at 8:30 p.m., especially late, if we see the Nuggets, I should say, creep up to minus 6.5, that'll be an indicator there that a lot of Nuggets money continues to pour in on game day. If you see this thing fall down to 5.5 on game day, that'll be an indication of some Lakers respective money coming in. But as of now, it's all been Denver Nuggets here. Currently, using our VSiN.com bet splits coming directly from DraftKings, the Denver Nuggets are getting 60% of bets tonight, but 75% of the money. So that kind of tells you that it's a very slight public Denver play, but also a ton of respected money. That's a plus 15% smart money discrepancy in favor of the Nuggets. Again, if you're ever getting at least 10% more money than bets, there's a good assumption that those bets are coming from those bigger, sharper wagers from the experienced bettors who have the respect to the books. And when they get down, they cause the numbers to move. Also, you have Denver matching quite a few betting systems tonight. Number one, unless you've been living under a rock, you probably heard me say it before or just noticed it yourself, but it's been a very chalky postseason, and that kind of coincides with what we've seen over the last few years. Favorites in the NBA playoffs this year are 42-30 against the spread, 58%. Remember, in order to break even betting on sports, assuming standard minus 110 juice, you got to win 52.38% of the time. So anything 52.39 or higher, 52.4, means you're making money. At 58%, you are doing very, very well here. So those favorites in general, if you had bet $100 on every NBA playoff this year, playoff favorite this year, you'd be up almost $900. They have an 11% ROI. So this chalk favorite, just overall edge would be on Denver. Also in particular, home favorites. Home favorites this year are 34-23 against the spread, 60%. And then home favorites with a line move in their favor. So you have the edge of the chalk, the home court, and you're getting that line movement in your favor, telling you that the market's in your direction. 30-16 against the spread, 65%. And then in particular, the Denver Nuggets at home. Kind of alluded to this earlier, but it's a big advantage in the altitude. At Mile High here, we usually think of the Broncos, but the Nuggets have that same advantage. They're used to the altitude. The opposing players or teams really don't know how to deal with it, and it can be difficult if you're gasping for air here and you're not accustomed to playing in the rarefied air. So that's a big advantage to Denver. Denver at home this year is 30-16 against the spread, 65%, and they're 5-1 against the spread in the postseason. They also have a one-day rest advantage. The Nuggets last played on the 11th versus the Lakers playing on the 12th. And then really what you're banking on, I think, is the offensive efficiency of Denver. They're ranked number 4 offensive efficiency during the regular season, according to ESPN Hollinger, whereas the Lakers were number 19. So after a long layoff here, rested, ready to go with the Nuggets, we've seen these chalk favorites do great, home favorites with a line move. Denver's been great at home with that altitude advantage. We got a good low bets, higher dollar, and a sharp line move. I'm going Nuggets tonight. First bet for me is Denver -6. Let's go Nuggets. Let's win this game by 7 or more and take a 1-0 series lead, hopefully, in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals.
Best of the rest.
For the best of the rest, now let's look toward the Major League Baseball slate and go to a big NL Central matchup tonight. Milwaukee Brewers and St. Louis Cardinals, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Currently, we have the St. Louis Cardinals listed as a -175 home favorite, with Milwaukee a +160 road dog. The total in the game is 8. Now going into this matchup, the Cardinals started off really poorly, but they're playing better as of late. They're 17-25 overall, but they're 7-1 over their last 8, and they absolutely crushed the Milwaukee Brewers last night, 18-1 as a -105 home dog. Tonight's rematch, the Brewers, who are 23-18, they're going to go with lefty Wade Miley, who's 3-2 with a 3.60 ERA. Meanwhile, St. Louis going with fellow southpaw Jordan Montgomery, who's 2-5 with a 4.11 ERA. So what have we seen here? Well, a lot of respected money going with St. Louis. The Cardinals open around a -155, -165 home favorite. Now they're up to -175. So all movement liability here going with St. Louis. One angle here for St. Louis would be coming off a big blowout win. When you win a game by 9 runs or more, kind of the momentum theory, you come back and win the next game, 21-7 this year, 75%. Also St. Louis, their bats are really getting hot right now. They're hitting 260 on the year compared to 241 for Milwaukee. St. Louis also has some correlative betting value in terms of a favorite in a low total game. Total in this game is 8. Fewer amount of expected run score, basically more likely to come from that quote-unquote better team, and fresher bullpen here. Cardinals have thrown 8.2 innings over the last 3 games from their pen versus 13 from Milwaukee. So kind of the obvious play here would be, St. Louis red hot, playing good baseball right now with a big steam move today. I'm going to bank on these bats to stay hot. I'm going with the red hot Cardinals. Give me the Cards tonight. I laid a -175 here on St. Louis. Of course, always bet Trish first bet to win, but give me the Cards at -175 to hopefully win again tonight at Busch Stadium. NBA and NHL postseason is the best time of year to become a VSiN Pro subscriber. Get access to hourly pro tips, best bets from VSiN experts, daily articles, power rankings, and expanded digital content and tools to help you become a better. Just go to VSiN.com/subscribe for more information.
Josh's Sweats.
Well, for Josh's Sweats, I already gave away a couple. One NBA, of course, the big one tonight. Denver Nuggets. I'm going to lay the -6 here, hoping that the Nuggets can win by 7 or more. I like this bet split. Only 60% bets, but 75% of the money, telling me those bigger, sharper wagers are on the Nuggets. Also 60%, that's slightly public. At least they're not getting 70, 80%. They're not a vast public play tonight, which is good. And then also a lot of system matches. chalk favorites, home favorites, home faves with a line move. Denver's got this great historical record here at home based on the altitude. Denver also has a one-day rest advantage and offensive efficiency, led by Jokic here. Denver is number 4 in the NBA versus number 19 for the Lakers. So I'm jumping on the Nuggets here, -6. I'm hoping to see this thing creep up to 6.5 during the day, which would be a good sign here and hopefully get some closing line value. But I'm going Nugs, -6. Then also just mention it, St. Louis, red hot Cardinals here. Again, they've been terrible to start. They're maybe getting hot right now. 7-1 over the last 8. You have a good spot here where the Bats just scored 18 runs, so you win by 9 runs or more. You come back and win the next game 75% of the time this year. So I'm banking on the Bats to stay hot. Going Cardinals, -175. And then one more bet for you in Major League Baseball. Let's go to a 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time showdown here at Fenway Park between the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox. This game currently is listed as Seattle, a -155 road favorite. Boston Red Sox here around a +140 home dog. The total is 9.5. I'm going to go with Seattle. Seattle opened this game around -140-ish. They've now been bet up to -155. I see some shops even closer to -160, -165. So, of course, as always, shop around. Save the juice. Always get the best number. That's the one thing you can do as a bettor. You can't guarantee the outcome, but you can guarantee that you have multiple accounts open so you can get the best number. But aside from the line movement towards Seattle, we'll take a step back, I guess. Pitching matchup, I think that's the big thing here, favoring Seattle. Luis Castillo goes for the Mariners. He's 2-1 with a 2.70 ERA. He's going to go against Nick Pivetta, who's 2-3 with a 6.23 ERA. And Pivetta actually in his 2 starts in May has an ERA of 9. So he's really not been pitching very well. Again, Castillo is a guy they picked up with the Reds in a trade last year and gave him a big contract. And then also a lot of system matches on Seattle. Non-division road favorites are 162 this year, 62%. This season, road favorites who made the playoffs, the opponent did not. 77-45 this year, 63%. And then non-division favorites off a win, carrying some momentum, 147-81, 65%. So a lot of matches here with Seattle. Also the Red Sox, they're kind of struggling. They've been streaky this year. They're just 1-6 over their last 7 games. Things have not been going right. They haven't been looking as the same team they have, or the team that was hot here recently. I was feeling pretty good about my over 78.5 win total with Boston, and now they're kind of falling back toward 500, so I'm getting a little nervous. I'm sure I'll have to sweat that thing all year long. But I like Seattle in this matchup. I'm going to lay it with the Mariners. Also keep an eye on the total. It did tick up a little bit. Open at 9 at some shops. You're up to 9.5. A lot of 9.5s are juiced up over -115. Obviously, we had a 10-1 game yesterday, or I should have mentioned that, but Seattle won 10-1, beat Boston as a -125 road favorite. So you went over that number. Tonight, I would lean a little bit over as well, because if you look at the juice, again, 9 up to 9.5 and still juiced up over, even though it's moved, tells you a lot of money leaning over, and a great forecast here at Fenway Park. It's going to be a great day in Boston, about mid-70s, 10-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to right center. The Red Sox, by the way, are the best over team in baseball, 27-13-2, and the over, using our VSiN.com bet splits, 53% of bets are on the over, but it takes into account 70% of the money. So it tells us those bigger, sharper wagers here are going over. But official bet for me, I'm going to ride Seattle here. Good sharp line move, tons of system matches. I think the Red Sox are in a bet against right now, and I want to fade Nick Pivetta. So I'm going Seattle at -155, along with the Cardinals and the Denver Nuggets here tonight. But that about does it for today's VSiN Daily Morning Bets podcast on Tuesday, May 16th. Reminder, if you want more VSiN in your life, easiest thing you can do for free is sign up for our free newsletter. Just go to VSiN.com/newsletter, plug in your email, hit submit, and then boom, you'll now be on our listserv. You'll wake up every morning to the VSiN Daily, letting you know all the big games and insights and information you need each day, but really geared toward that day's sweats. Of course, letting you know what's going on across the market, but in particular at VSiN. And then we'd love for you to become a member if you'd like to get more insights and info, best bet picks from all the guests and hosts at VSiN, as well as a live stream of all the VSiN shows, all the articles behind the paywall, the great DraftKings percentages. You can sign up and become a VSiN Pro member. Only $9.99, $10. It's a very good value play, I should say, getting all those insights. And that's a great promo right now if you just go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Of course, follow us on Twitter. Stay plugged into what's going on at VSiN in the betting market. We tweet out great content all day. We'd love for you to support us on social media. Follow us at VSiN Live. You can follow me at Josh_Insights. And of course, you can check out the Market Insights pod later today around 3 o'clock. We should have some more sweats here. A couple more baseball games I'm really leaning on catching my eye. And then I will also be on Lombardi Line today around 1:30, having some breakdowns here for the Lakers game and Lakers Nuggets as well. So hope everyone has a great day. Good luck. As the wise man of VSiN likes to say, hopefully you can cash some tickets because that's what it's all about. Enjoy the sweats, everyone. Have a great Tuesday.